The speeches being given at the Davos World Economic Forum have been incredibly revealing about what the world thinks of the Trump administration and the United States at this moment. And sadly, it's not a good image for us. Hello, my name is Brian Kennedy. I'm the mayor of Glendale, Wisconsin, president of Democratic Municipal Officials, and a member of the DNC. Follow me for local government and Democratic Party content. The World Economic Forum is held each year in Davos, Switzerland, and it's an opportunity for world leaders and large-scale business leaders and people who shape economic policy around the world to come together to have conversations about where the current world situation is and what more can be done to promote economic growth and prosperity around the world. The United States has always been a leader, traditionally, at this forum, bringing new ideas and ways in which the U.S. not only can bolster its own economy, but also help the economies of middle power and developing nations from around the world. Donald Trump has put an end to any sort of U.S. leadership in this particular space. And it is really telling the comments that came from Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney yesterday when he said, essentially, that the middle powers, countries like Canada and Japan and Germany, not the huge hegemonic powers like the United States and Russia and China, but the middle powers, are going to have to start cooperating and creating their own alliances. That the current, the world order that we have come to rely on and trust for so long is essentially dead. And that's disheartening because it has existed since the end of World War II, and has created not only a significant amount of peace around the world, but also created a largely integrated world economy in which we saw developing nations do significantly better at the same time that the U.S. and Europe saw our economies grow. The largest expansion of the U.S. middle class took place in the 50s and the 60s, right after World War II, while at the same time, all the rest of the world was also doing well. And we've tried to be a world leader in the policies that we've set and the way that we've interacted with other countries. But when you have someone like Donald Trump as the leader of this country, you create, or he has created, an image of the United States that we are no longer stable, that we can't be trusted. Now, if you followed Donald Trump throughout his life, it's no surprise to those of us who voted against him that he can't be trusted. I mean, look at how many failed marriages he's had where he's cheating on the current wife with the next wife. Look at how he has gone bankrupt and defrauded so many of his creditors with his companies. Look at just how he has done everything throughout his life, right? Nothing he does is ever above board. He's a fraudster and a grifter. And right now he's using the presidency to enrich his family and the Trump organization. So imagine taking that and putting him in charge of the world's largest economy, the world's largest military, the world's richest country. And he is going to continue to do the things he has done his entire life. And where we've had leaders from both parties who have preached stability, it didn't matter whether you were talking about Ronald Reagan or Barack Obama, whether you were talking about John F. Kennedy and Lyndon Johnson or Dwight Eisenhower. Or Joe Biden or George W. Bush. We have seen throughout our nation's history leaders who believe in stability first. And now we are looking at the dismantling of international alliances because we have elected a chaos agent who just wants to destroy everything and blow shit up and create distractions so that he can enrich his family and his billionaire buddies.